Hey y'all, this company called Tailored Canvases reached out to me. I'll have the information in my description box and asked me if I'd like to work with them. And I went and checked out their stuff and I'm like, absolutely 100%. Look at these beautiful pictures, y'all. And I just can't even. And they're just so amazing, and you can get almost anything. I mean, with your kids' names, you can order them like specifically for you or whatever. And I can't wait till the end of the video and y'all see what I got. It's absolutely gorgeous, but look how beautiful these are. Okay, y'all, right here I got 10 of those long boards from the Dollar Tree, and it's according to how big your stovetop is as to how many you're going to need, and as to how big it is, obviously. So first we're going to start by just taking all that mace off there. And y'all know how I hate how that paper hangs over, because you can't get your boards together right if you're going to be attaching them. A lot of times it does leave gaps, more so than often, more so, whatever, y'all know what I mean. Anyway, so here I'm just going to spread them all out and see what I'm working with, because these boards, it's according to the season. Some of them are different depths, a little bit different lengths and stuff like that. And I have a multitude of these things, y'all. And I was trying to put them together to match the best I could. You see those two lighter brown ones? They said a little bit more lower than the other ones. I can't even remember which ones they were. But anyway, after you sand them all down real good, even the top of them, because you're going to want that wood glue to attach really well to the board underneath it, because we're going to need 5 across, but we're going to double them up because we want this thing to be sturdy. So I'm socking the wood, and if you all can help it, don't use any hot glue, because if you got this thing on top of your stove and you turn your oven on and it gets hot, you might have some glue leaking out from somewhere if you use hot glue. So just try to stick with wood glue or something like that. And anyway, I'm doing it for video purposes. So anyway, I put some hot glue on there, and I'm just gonna mash it together real good and make sure it's as even as I can get it. And I'm gonna take those little clips from the Dollar Tree and attach it to it, so they stick real good. They close. They don't have gaps, you know what I'm saying? And make sure you wipe off your excess glue. And then I'm just gonna bend over and show you my hind end. I'm always showing my hind end. Y'all, I'm editing with a new thing, got a new phone. It's a little bit confusing to me, so just please give me grace. So anyway, and I'm going to show you me gluing another board, because this is the lesson of glue. I'm going to show you what I do. I'm lying. So anyway, right here, I got those tomato steaks from the Dollar General. They are $1 a piece. This entire thing costs like $17.50, and you can't beat that. So anyway, I'm going to measure it out here and see how long I need to cut my little tomato steak. Y'all, this is so easy, and anybody can do it. I promise y'all, you can do it. Anyway, so I'm going to look around for a pencil, and I'm going to leave a bunch of garbage in that is not necessary, because I don't know what that is. Anyway, make sure you mark your tomato steaks top and bottom. A lot of y'all been wanting to send Jessie. I know I'm a hot mess, but that's the way I always am in real life. And to all y'all ladies can walk around your house with nice clothes on and your hair did and makeup on, kudos to you. I'm a disaster. I can't do it. But love y'all. Appreciate every one of y'all. It takes all kinds. Anyway, so I'm going to take wood glue here, and I'm going to attach my tomato steak. I think I do put a little bit of wood glue, hot glue, because that is the kind of hot glue that I used. How confusing. On that, again, for video purposes. But anyway, I don't know why I say it like that. Anyway, so, and then I can take my other two, and I'm going to line them up there to cut them in between the two boards I originally put down. Now, and then mark left and right to make sure you know which part goes where. This is before the broken wrist. This project took a minute. Anyway, and that was me and my life and busyness and illnesses and doctor's appointments and all that stuff. So, not because the project would take a really long time. But anyway, who cares? Off on a tangent. So all the pieces that you cut off of your tomato steaks, I cut the little tiny pointy tips off of them. But I'm going to add them there for extra support, because you don't want to be flimsy in the middle or certain spots if you set something on it. You know what I mean? And here I'm just setting heavy stuff on it to hold it down while it dries. But anyway, y'all could take 5 more boards and run it across the bottom of your thing and make it just completely closed in. Me, Again, video purposes, I'm not, but I'm going to take some wood glue and run it there in that crack. Y'all, you need a lot of wood glue. But my little nozzle was clogged up because I hadn't used it in so long and I didn't know. And what a pain. But anyway, I'm going to run it in all the cracks all the way around my sign. Then take a wet wipe and wipe all that excess off. I just want to make sure it gets down in the little cracks. Okay, here, y'all. This is important. These little shelf setters. I had a bunch of different ones. But these big thick ones, well, one, I thought looked better. And two, I didn't have enough of the thinner ones. See, they're thinner and longer. So make sure you get the right size. Because you're going to need 3 of them to do this. So, unless you got a wee tiny stove. So we're going to sand the fronts of those down. We're going to get that paper off there. And you've got to get these tags off there because it's going to show. Because we're going to glue the paper down because we didn't take the entire paper off. And I'm going to take some Goo Gone here. I'm going to dab it on where my sticker is. Now, Dollar Tree does sell the Goo Gone, y'all. Anyway, I used so much of it, I had to get a big one. And I'm going to take my little scraper here and with the Goo Gone on there, you can see how that just little bits come off. Then I just wipe it off real quick with a dry paper towel. And then here I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol, 70 volume, 70 proof, whatever it is. And I'm going to get that Goo Gone off. That'll dry that Goo Gone up. Then I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to dry it really good to absorb all that moisture up out there that I can. And it's going to leave that little square, but it is dry and not sticky at all, but it was very hot. And that's why I pulled my fingers back real quick. So here's with the broken wrist. And we're going to take wood glue here and no hot glue. I didn't use any hot glue this time. I tried to use as little as possible. And I'm going to set heavy stuff on it. And then I'm going to take my other boards, like one of them had been cut down, the exact same thing, and then the other one was a little short one that I got that just so happened to be the exact same size. We're going to measure those out there, make our little line, and we're going to cut those off. I know y'all's like, oh, that's a lot of cutting. Mine was 5 boards wide. I can't remember now, but it was 21 inches deep. So that's how short I had to cut my boards off. You know what I mean? I had to cut my long sign shorter. Anyway, and make sure you put wood glue on the end of that when you're attaching it. Now, I was going to use, oh, shoot. I know all the time, and now I don't. Those little tiny nails, and I was going to hammer them in for y'all that don't have a nail gun to show you it could be done. But, you know, my wrist is broken, so I couldn't hardly hammer very well. So I had to use my nail gun. And anyway, I took 2-inch brads, and I shot them where the thicker boards all were. And then I took 5/8-inch brads and shot them where the shorter pieces are so they could get down in those tomato steaks. Okay, y'all. Y'all see all this? This is free at the Home Depot. I hate to share my secret. You go in, and there's a barrel in the back. And those are called, I think, fairing strips. Is that what it is? And they attach them to, like, their pallets and stuff like that. And then they throw them away. And you can take as many as you want. And I'm getting low on them, trust me. I have any picture frame almost y'all see me make, it's out of those things. And they're free. So anyway, don't take on my boards, peeps. So I was going to use my miter shears to cut that because you actually really can. But I had no strength in my hand, so I couldn't cut it. So I'm going to use my miter box and mark those down. See, I cut that one too long, but I just chop off the little tiny tip there. But that one happened to fit. But mark them top and bottom so you'll know where they go. And because it might be a little bit different size. You know, measure twice, cut once. But yeah, I measure 48 times and cut 47. But anyway, so I'm just going to shoot those little brads and those little tiny things. And right here, y'all going to think I'm crazy. And my husband's like, why you do that? Well, to me, it makes sense. Because you can have gaps in those boards. I run wood glue all the way around the entire thing. And you see some of the little gaps from those Dollar Tree signs. And then I take a wet wipe and I wipe it off. Because I want all that to stick together. If you had some sawdust, you could sprinkle it on there too, and it'd really help. And then I sanded it down real good when I was done, and I dusted it off, and I wiped all that excess garbage off there after all the sanding. Now I'm going to take wood filler, and I'm going to fill in those cracks right there because I want it to look like one piece. You know what I mean? I don't want it to look like it's a gap. If it does, I don't really care because I like the old rustic look, but you can't even tell, y'all. Anyway, and then I sand that down real good. And then finally, we're going to paint it. So I start with black. You know, they say black doesn't show flaws. Yeah, well, anyway. And then I painted it black because this cottage white, I'm going to paint it. I got that from Amazon. It's home decor. It was cheaper than the Rust-Oleum, and you get a little bit more paint in it. I just, paint's getting so expensive, y'all. Anyway, and I start off lightly distressing it, and I'm going to keep heavily going and going and going until I get what I like. Instead of painting it all white, then adding the black, I wanted to have my base black and then go with white. There. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, this thing is gorgeous. Though y'all hadn't seen it yet. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with it. It's so pretty. Anyway, there's the bottom. And see, I had a little gap right there in that one spot. I found a little tiny board that was kind of even and stuck it in there. But I'm taking those little pads, those little felt pads from the Dollar Tree, and I'm sticking in the corners, and I'm cutting some down and putting it on my board just running across that way. And I may add boards to the bottom of it later, but I'm not going to sell it. It's got my name on it. And the year I got married on it. So, you know, nobody else wants to Hall's, what is it? Trading company, established 1996. I wanted to put 1896, but I didn't. Anyway, I got those handles at the Home Depot, or Lowe's. They were 99 cents, y'all. And I counted them in the price, 99 cents. And here I'm just going to measure out where I need to put my little handles. And, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to take a little pencil and mark a circle. Now, I'm goofy, and I'm going to take this little teeny tiny drill bit. I mean, it's tiny. I love it. It's my favorite one. I lose it all the time. And I'm going to drill pilot holes because I don't want that stuff try to stick a screw down in there and it just go wonky and strip out or something, just keep spinning. I just want to get it in there real good. So that's what I'm doing. I drill my pilot holes and I put my little screws in. Then we're going to do the other side. Now, here we go to sanding. Again, look, I dusted everything in this craft room, y'all. Everything. Even little signs and everything. I created so much dust with this thing. It is an absolute mess again. Gotta start back square one. But if y'all don't like distressing and y'all don't like this look, don't do it. Paint it solid. Do your thing. That's what it's all about. Inspiration, y'all. And this is just what I like. I can't help myself. Anyway, reminds me of my mama's, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I thought y'all would want to see me doing all this. Oh, no. Let me see if I can fix this. You all are not going to believe this. I have redone this same part like 39 times, and I never have to redo my... Well, I should redo my voiceovers, but I never redo my voiceovers. This new editing stuff is driving me crazy. The delete button, when you want to delete stuff out of your video, is right beside the duplicate button. And I've been hitting duplicate, y'all, instead of delete. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, so I tape all the way around inside my little sign. And then I tape, again, a little thin line, because I want a little thin line in there. You all can barely even see it right here when I pull this tape up. But anyway, y'all, seriously, I don't even remember what all I've said. I've said so much because I've done it so many times. It's just like, I just want to sit and talk to y'all now. But anyway, look how crisp that little line is. And I always pull it up wet, because if you paint dries to your tape and you pull it up, you're going to pull your paint up, and you don't want to do that. Anyway, I know I don't, because I don't want to redo it. So here, I'm just measuring to see how big I need to make my decal. So I was going to do farmhouse and do a farmhouse scene, and that would be very, very pretty. But for some reason, I wanted to do the mercantile thing, so that's what I did. And what I did is when I cut it out, and I just use regular removable vinyl, and you take your little letters out or whatever's in there that you originally, if you're going to stencil, people have asked me about this. So normally that M would go on my project if I was putting vinyl on something. But instead I need to pull it out if I'm going to stencil paint it. I hope you understood that. But sometimes I put my stuff on parchment paper. I put those letters on parchment paper in case someone use that word later. But I put down my transfer tape and I rub it in real good with my Cricut spatula there, y'all. Because I want to make sure that my A or the center of my A and my O come up out there. See, really focusing on that. And still, I fight that stuff, y'all. I fight it all, especially that smart vinyl. Or, yeah, I fight that stuff. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, so, just going to lay my stencil down there. I need to drink. I'm dying of thirst. And didn't measure nothing. Just put it where I was like, oh, that looks good. Going to take my scraper, rub that down. When I pull it up, I rub it again. Because I don't want any bleeding. I mean, nobody does, but you can normally fix it. But, y'all, I use that stencil brush from the Dollar Tree one we usually paint with and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever used it to stencil with. And it actually did really good, except there's a little spot down by the E that bled. But that could be user error or where the board was like uneven a little bit or something, but you can't even really see it. But still, that was it. But I just made sure I pressed that vinyl down real good. Yeah, that's hurting my wrist. Sorry, y'all, I left that in there, but I just pounds up and down, up and down, up and down. And again, that vinyl sticks good. Take, yeah, your vinyl up off there. Yeah, white's wet again. And here, gee whiz, I'm glad y'all didn't witness this last time. I took burnt umber and ink, black chalk paint, and didn't mix them together, but kind of did. And I put blobs or blobbies. I don't even know. All over my board, parts all over my board to make it look more rustic. And then I sand it down real good. Look, y'all can't even tell there's big old blobs there a minute ago, could you? Anyway, and sand it again. I bet I sanded 12,000 times. But when you're sanding over in the corner, if you put anything over there, make sure you don't sand your line off. So, y'all, here, I printed these off Sublimation, and I went into Canva, and I found those vintage little pictures, and I thought that would be so cool to put on my Noodle board. So I'm going to take heat transfer tape. Is that what it's called? I don't even know anymore. And I'm going to take my things down, just place them where I wanted them. I did measure it there. And then put my parchment paper down. Y'all, it said to heat these on 400 degrees for 45 seconds. I bet I did 5 minutes apiece on each of them. And I'm not even playing. But y'all, just be careful. Don't burn your board or nothing like that. I had both of my irons going at the same time, lighting that baby up. Now, that one in the middle did good. And it may be because, again, the unevenness of the boards. And then, like, where I painted, like I did, kind of the distress thing. And it have, like, little waves in that paint. Even though I might not sanded it good enough. You know what I mean? So, maybe not make it... But still, I wanted them faded anyway. But I think it looks so good. And then, there's the rest of my transfer look. Hall Trading Company. Oh, yeah, use some polyacrylic. And what you do... is sand it down. I sanded mine lightly because I didn't want to sand all my stuff down. But you're supposed to sand it lightly and then stir it. Don't shake it. It ain't a martini. Oh, it's shaking, not stirred, whatever. I don't even know. Don't drink. But anyway, I know y'all's like, what? And you put a thin coat and then you let it dry. I like let mine dry 24 hours. And then you sand it again. And then you put as many coats as you want. And here it is, y'all. And I absolutely am in love with this. And I don't know why I didn't put it on my stovetop to show it to y'all. It's just habit, I reckon. And I don't know why things look black and white. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to put it on my stovetop. I hope y'all like it. And Miss Linda Ward, she's the one that asked me to make it. And last year I said, Linda, I'll have one made hopefully in September. Here it is, January. And it took me a long time, baby girl. But there it is. There it is. And I'm glad you asked me to do it because I was like, this might be a challenge, but it was so much fun. And the outcome is just, oh my gosh. Y'all, I just don't even know about myself. I hate to toot my own horn, but ooga. Oh no. Yeah, this was like $17.50, y'all. Seriously, you cannot beat that. Okay, y'all. Right here. I got it's a drop cloth, and it's been cut as a gazillion times, and I've washed it, and I'm going to lay down my cutting mat there, and I'm making inch, excuse me, inch cuts right there, an inch apart, and I'm going to tear them down, or, rip it, because I like that shaggedy look, and here I'm just folding them. Now, I cut X amount of them, a blob of them. I can't even tell you how many, at 6 inches. And then I cut a ton more of them at 8 inches. And I got these, I'm so sorry. These Valentines, lace Valentines from the Goodwill for 99 cents. There was 2 of them. And I'm going to cut them down the same way. Some 6 inches, some 8 inches. And yep, just, there you go. Don't rip that. And then I got this material. I've had it for a couple years though, y'all. From the Walmart, a lot of it. And for $2. And so I'm going to use it. And here's what I'm doing. I'm taking a large 8-inch piece of drop cloth and tying it on the 2 middle rungs. And then a 6-inch piece of drop cloth. And I'm going to tie them side by side on the outer 2 rungs. You see what I mean? And then I take 2 pieces of lace and tie it on the middle rung. Because I wanted like thickness. I wanted different dimensions for it to go up and down. And then I take a piece of that material and tie it on the 2 middle rungs. And I want it to be really full. So one more time. Here we go. An 8-inch piece on the 2 middle rungs. 6-inch piece on the outer 2. I do both sides at the same time. So outer 2 rungs, 6-inch pieces. See? Yeah, so wait a minute. I'm so sorry, y'all. At the same time, it's big and thick and full, and it's pretty, y'all. And then this is Valentine's Day. I squeezed a couple Valentine's Day in there, and then my 2 pieces of lace, and then I think I just did 4 pieces of lace there, but no, anyway, I didn't. And then a piece of that material, and that's what I do all the way around my wreath, all the way around it, all the way around it. Anyway, I hope y'all got that. And there it is done. And I'm going to trim it up some and get those strings off there. And then I'm going to take that love sign, that thing. Look how rough mine is. Anyway, from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take the staples out and the hanger off. And I'm going to sand it down real good. I mean, real good, y'all. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. My arm's hurting again. Yeah. And, I didn't mean to show you that, y'all. I'm telling you, this editing is not cool at all. Not cool. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I am so sorry. I did not want y'all to have to see every bit of that sanding. And I hope it stops soon. Because I just duplicated away in this video. And y'all, I would not blame you if you fast forward it. Oh, look, see, there I am holding my arm. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh no, on my other with the Conmaster I could pause it and restart. On this I cannot. Oh no. Figured it out, y'all. Anyway, it went on for like another half an hour, but anyway. So I'm just gonna take my craft knife here, Miss Christine Carter got me, and I'm gonna cut out, like, scrape off those little wood pieces on the inside of them holes that my little thing wouldn't get, sander wouldn't get. But anyway, I know I'm putting entirely too much Mod Podge, so I always get a wet wipe and put it on and wipe it off. But I'm just going to put a really, really, really thin coat of Mod Podge on top of here. And I'm going to use a napkin, and that's the reason why I definitely want to get all that stuff sanded off. And after it dried, the Mod Podge dried, Miss Rita Herndon sent me that. It's beautiful. And I'm going to put my napkin down, and I'm going to put my parchment paper on it, and I'm going to iron my napkin onto my sign. Yeah. Hope I don't show all this either. Y'all, what a mess. I don't know. I'm telling you what, HGTV is not going to be coming looking for me. Maybe Saturday Night Live, which I'd probably fit in better there. But whatever. So anyway, so there was a little teeny tiny piece there on the end. I just cut me a piece of napkin off and ironed it on there. You can't even tell. It just looks like a bunch of scribbles all the way down through there. Yeah, so what I do is I poke holes in the center of my thing when I'm going to burn it. And I don't burn all my stuff because it does leave like black around the edge of it. And it's cool and stuff. It's all cool and neat to do. But I don't always want that. But on this I did. I wanted to look, you know, rustic and old. But, yeah. Anyway, so. There we go. And if y'all scared to do this, don't do it. or do it in your bathtub or something so you can, and have the water running, like standing there barefooted, and then if it goes, and you get scared, just throw it in the tub, but then you're going to ruin it. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so then I'm going to put another light coat of Mod Podge, and with that black on there, it kind of smears that Mod Podge over that sign, and it makes it like darker and more like vintage, like rustic looking, and I like that. Yeah. I know, heavenly days, here we go again. Oh, no. And y'all know how to Mod Podge, but just do it really light. And I can't believe this. Okay, y'all, take 469. So, anyway, I'm going to take that lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to do a lark's head knot, and I'm going to make that for my hanger for my little wreath. And after I knot it, I'm going to cut little slits in it to make it look shaggy, like my, or shabby, what do you want to call it? Like my wreath does. And then my love, I'm trying to figure out where I want it. And I'm going to take y'all along for that ride. And I'm going to take pop cleaners, Chanel Sims, whatever y'all call them, hot glue, and duct tape. And I'm going to, yeah, that's how I'm going to attach my word to my sign. And I just put that in between a couple rungs and twisted it up and tucked it down in there. And yeah, all that jazz. And all that jazz. Anyway, so that way you can change it out if you want to. You know, put something else on it. Like, it would kind of be silly for looking for 4th of July unless you did, a vintage flag. But still, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to take those pearls from the Dollar Tree. They're 12 millimeter, 14 millimeter, and then the little tiny white ones. And they're different colors. But I think that's cool with me because I got those different colors in my wreath. And I'm just going to glue them throughout my wreath sporadically. And y'all, flowers or not flowers, I don't know. I was waiting on y'all's opinion because I really like y'all's opinion. Well, some of y'all, I'm just like, don't give me your opinion anymore, please. But anyway, I'm going to tie that lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree in knots, or the crocheted ribbon, whatever it is. And I'm going to fold it over and dovetail the ends, stick it sporadically down in there. And y'all, there is my beautiful wreath. Is that gorgeous or what? Gorgeous, lovely, beautiful. La, 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 la. Remember that frame I made back like a year and a half ago? I love that thing, and I just found it in my basement yesterday or last week. I don't know when I found it, but I just found it. Okay, y'all. Miss Jackie Corn sent me this from Texas, straight out of Texas. That's like straight out of Compton, but Texas, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to unscrew my home. Sounds so stupid, the things I say. The letter, the word, whatever, from my little sign. We didn't have these in my store, and I could save that and use it later. And, of course, y'all know I'm going to sand around the edges because I can't stand that paper. And I'm going to get as much paper off of it as I can possibly, darling. And I'm going to spritz it down. I love that mister, y'all. Because it don't shoot out a bunch. Anyway, and I'm going to scrape that paper off because then by that time I done made it wonky, and oh yeah, it's hurting my wrist really bad. That paper was hard to get off. They just like, well, I'll show them YouTubers. We'll put this paper on there and they'll never redo any more of our signs, which I'm sure they don't care. Anyway, which it doesn't matter, does it? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so, and when I get all done, because it's damp, I always take my heat tool and I dry it to pull all that moisture out of there. Yeah, that's what I do. And I'm going to put Mod Podge down and make sure I get it real close to that bottom there. I didn't want to take that off because sometimes it breaks, and I was like, dude, I don't want this to break because I want it to stand up. This is another Valentine's Day one. I'm making this for my husband. And I found that shiplap paper I got from Hobby Lobby in my craft room too while cleaning it. Found all kinds of stuff, y'all. Got all kind of stuff I can use. And I'm trying not to shop. But I see all the new things and I'm like, I want them. And I just don't know what to do. And I put way too much Mod Podge there. So there, of course, I'm going to get me a little wet wipe. And then, you know, do the same thing, wipe it off because I put too much. But anyway, I found that piece and I didn't want to waste it. So I cut it off. And I cut a little house out. You can tell where I traced it and left a little teeny tiny triangle piece there. But I didn't care. It just looks good. It looks rustic. And, you know, yeah. So I'm just going to piece these two together. Yeah. And you can't even tell. And make sure when you put it down, you just rub it. And rub it real good. And rub it around the edges. And it'll stick fine. Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm pointing my peak. I'm trying to get it straight and then rub it and 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 rub it. For 12 days, apparently, you just keep rubbing it in circles and up and down and, you know. Anyway, so let it dry. I'm going to cut that excess off. I can't sand it very well and all that stuff. And I couldn't get in that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My wrist is hurting, so I cut some of the paper off with scissors. Then I cut some off it with a knife from Miss Christine Calder. And then Miss Jackie sent me that finger sander and a little sign I'm painting. Anyway, and I'm going to put Mod Podge on top of it. And I did Mod Podge the whole thing, not just that little bit right there. And on my Cricut, I printed out. See, that looks vintage. I don't know what I'm doing wrong because it looks like kind of old school. But anyway, this is funny to me. And I think it'd be funny if you made these for your husband, big, small, whatever. But it makes me laugh. Here, honey, happy Valentine's Day. But I made it to be double-sided. Now, I was going to put something sweet on the back side, but I ran out of time. But look, y'all, I think it's pretty just like that. But it says, I love hugs, I love kisses, what I love most is help with the dishes. That's how I imagine the tune goes. You could do it like Barney. I love hugs, I love kisses, but what I love most is help with the dishes. You know, or any tune, any tune you want. But anyway, I love y'all. I miss y'all because
Tailored Canvases reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to work with them. Of course, I said yes. But because look at this thing, it is absolutely gorgeous. And if you go to the website, I'll have it in my description box, and put Kathy20, you'll get a 20% discount. But I still believe in amazing grace. Isn't that gorgeous? That there's power in the blood, that he walks with me and he talks with me, that because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Isn't that gorgeous? And all because of the old rugged cross. I was like, oh my gosh, of course this would be the one I pick. But y'all should go check them out. Taylor Canvases, I love y'all.